And the great doctor was silent a moment, and then he said, "Men simply don't think. It's about this that I want to talk with you. We live today in a golden age. This is an era that man has looked forward to, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it's here, we pretty well take it for granted. We in America are particularly fortunate to live in the richest land that ever existed on the face of the earth, a land of abundant opportunity for everyone. But do you know what happens? Well, let's take 100 men who start even at the age of 25. Do you have any idea what will happen to those men by the time they're 65? These 100 men who all start even at the age of 25 believe they're going to be successful. If you asked any one of these men if he wanted to be a success, he'd tell you he did. And you'd notice that he was eager toward life, that there was a certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they're 65, 1 will be rich. 4 will be financially independent. 5 will still be working. 54 will be broke. Now think a moment. Out of the 100, only 5 make the grade. Now why do so many fail? What has happened to the sparkle that was there when they were 25? What's become of the dreams, the hopes, the plans? And why is there such a large disparity between what these men intended to do and what they actually accomplished? When we say about 5% achieve success, we have to define success. And here's the best definition I've ever been able to find. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If a man is working toward a predetermined goal and knows where he's going, that man is a success. If he's not doing that, he's a failure. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Rollo May, the distinguished psychiatrist, wrote a wonderful book called Man's Search for Himself. And in this book he says, the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity. And there you have the trouble today. It's conformity, people acting like everyone else without knowing why, without knowing where they're going. Now think of it. In America right now, there are over 18 million people 65 years of age and older. And most of them are broke. They're dependent on someone else for life's necessities. Now, we learn to read by the time we're 7. We learn to make a living by the time we're 25. Usually by that time, we're not only making a living, we're supporting a family. And yet, by the time we're 65, we haven't learned how to become financially independent in the richest land that has ever been known. Why? We conform. And the trouble is that we're acting like the wrong percentage group, the 95 who don't succeed. Now, why do these people conform? Well, they really don't know. These people believe that their lives are shaped by circumstances, by things that happen to them, by exterior forces. They're outer-directed people. A survey was made one time that covered a lot of men, working men, and these men were asked, why do you work? Why do you get up in the morning? 19 out of 20 had no idea. If you ask them, they'll say, well, everyone goes to work in the morning, and that's the reason they do it, because everyone else is doing it. Now let's get back to our definition of success. Who succeeds? The only person who succeeds is the person who is progressively realizing a worthy ideal. He's the person who says, I'm going to become this, and then begins to work toward that goal. I'll tell you who the successful people are. A success is the school teacher who's teaching school because that's what he or she wants to do. The success is the woman who's a wife and mother because she wanted to become a wife and mother and is doing a good job of it. The success is the man who runs the corner gas station because that was his dream. That's what he wanted to do. The success is the successful salesman who wants to become a top-notch salesman and grow and build with his organization. A success is anyone who is doing deliberately a predetermined job because that's what he decided to do deliberately. But only 1 out of 20 does that. That's why today there isn't really any competition unless we make it for ourselves. Instead of competing, all we have to do is create. You know, for 20 years, I looked for the key which would determine what would happen to a human being. Was there a key I wanted to know which would make the future a promise that we could foretell to a large extent? Was there a key that would guarantee a person's becoming successful if he only knew about it and knew how to use it? Well, there is such a key, and I've found it. Have you ever wondered why so many men work so hard and honestly without ever achieving anything in particular, and others don't seem to work hard and yet seem to get everything? They seem to have the magic touch. You've heard them say that about someone. Everything he touches turns to gold. And have you ever noticed that a man who becomes successful tends to continue to become successful? And on the other hand, have you noticed how a man who's a failure tends to continue to fail? Well, it's because of goals. Some of us have goals, some don't. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. It's that simple. Think of a ship leaving a harbor, and think of it with the complete voyage mapped out and planned. The captain and crew know exactly where it's going and how long it'll take. It has a definite goal. Now, 9,999 times out of 10,000, it will get to where it started out to get. Now, let's take another ship, just like the first, only let's not put a crew on it or a captain at the helm. Let's give it no aiming point, no goal, no destination. We just start the engines and let it go. I think you'll agree with me that if it gets out of the harbor at all, it will either sink or wind up on some deserted beach, a derelict. It can't go anyplace because it has no destination and no guidance, and it's the same with a human being. Take the salesman, for example. There's no other person in the world today with the future of a good salesman. Selling is the world's highest paid profession, if we're good at it and if we know where we're going. Every company needs top-notch salesmen, and they reward those men. The sky's the limit for them. But how many can you find? Someone once said the human race is fixed, not to prevent the strong from winning, but to prevent the weak from losing. The American economy today can be likened to a convoy in time of war. The entire economy is slowed down to protect its weakest link, just as the convoy had to go at the speed that would permit its slowest vessel to remain in formation. That's why it's so easy to make a living today. It takes no particular brains or talent to make a living and support a family today. So we have a plateau of so-called security, if that's what a person's looking for. But we do have to decide how high above this plateau we want to aim. Now let's get back to the strangest secret in the world, the story that I wanted to tell you today. Why do men with goals succeed in life and men without them fail? Well, let me tell you something which, if you really understand it, will alter your life immediately. If you understand completely what I'm going to tell you from this moment on, your life will never be the same again. You'll suddenly find that good luck just seems to be attracted to you. The things you want just seem to fall in line, and from now on you won't have the problems, the worries, the gnawing lump of anxiety that perhaps you've experienced before. Doubt, fear, well, they'll be things of the past. Here's the key to success and the key to failure. We become what we think about. Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. Throughout all history, the great wise men and teachers, philosophers and prophets have disagreed with one another on many different things. It's only on this one point that they are in complete and unanimous agreement. Listen to what Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Disraeli said this, everything comes if a man will only wait. I brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this, a man is what he thinks about all day long. William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. And he also said, we need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing into such a connection with our life that it will become real. It will become so knit with habit and emotion that our interest in it will be those which characterize belief. And he also said, if you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strongly. In the Bible you read in Mark 9:23, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. My old friend Dr. Norman Vincent Peale put it this way, this is one of the greatest laws in the universe. Fervently do I wish I had discovered it as a very young man. It dawned upon me much later in life, and I found it to be one of the greatest, if not my greatest discovery outside of my relationship to God. The great law, briefly and simply stated, is that if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. That is the simple fact, he went on to say, which is at the basis of an astonishing law of prosperity and success. In 3 words, believe and succeed. William Shakespeare put it this way, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. George Bernard Shaw said, people are always blaming their circumstances. Don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on
All right, familia, what's up? Grand Rising and happy Tuesday. I am so blessed and so grateful to be here with each and every single one of you guys. I hope everybody is having a blessed morning. If everybody can hear me and see me good, can I please get a 111 in the chat box? I just want to make sure that it's all good on your side as well. So if you guys can hear me and see me good, let me know in the chat box if you guys can. But I am so blessed, so excited, and so back and so happy to be back home with the family. So happy to, be able to pour in. I was flying all day yesterday. It was a long day for me yesterday. It was filled with a lot of traveling. I spent 13 hours traveling yesterday, man. It was a lot, but I'm extremely grateful for, just everything that has been happening in my life because, man, let me tell you guys, spending time in Sweden, every time I travel, I really do gain a lot of perspective on life in general. I think that traveling gives you a lot of perspective. It gives you a lot of, ideas of what's out there when it comes to culture, when it comes to foods, when it comes to all of these amazing things. And, to have that perspective it's so important. And, they say that, I've heard this quote that if you don't travel, you only get to read one page of your book. You never get a chance to read all the other pages of your book. And, me being able to travel, I actually counted it. Sweden has actually been the 14th country that I've been to since I started entrepreneurship, guys. So since I started entrepreneurship, it has been the 14th country that I've traveled to. And let me tell you, man, traveling has absolutely changed my life. I don't know about you guys, but type a 7 in the chat box if your goal in life is to travel, if your goal in life is to, visit the world and experience new cultures, new foods, new everything. Because let me tell you guys, man, I promise you, traveling has been one of the reasons why I've been able to gain the perspective that I've been able to gain. And Sweden was a beautiful country. I loved Sweden. I think it's a beautiful place for you to go and learn and just experience a lot of the culture that's out there. It's completely different. They have beautiful architecture. The people were great. I was able to connect with some amazing people out there. The event was amazing. People helped me feel so welcome. We got some good food. I was able to just do different things, So, I'm extremely grateful and I'm excited to go out this year. And, my goal this year is to get to 20 countries. That's the goal this year. And, it's amazing. So shout out to everybody from the Sweden family. Thank you for everybody that made me feel at home. And, I'm excited. I'm excited for everything that, it's about to happen for us, for this whole entire family. And I got some good lessons for us today as well. So before we get into our call, though, let's practice some gratitude. What is one thing that you guys are grateful for on this beautiful Tuesday morning, January 17, 2023? I am grateful for God and his glory and his grace. I am grateful for my health, my healthy immune system, my healthy body. I am grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughters, and my godson. I'm extremely grateful for my team and all the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for the whole Sweden family that invited me out to go out there and all the support and love that they gave me. I'm grateful for my mentors. I'm grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community. I'm grateful for the knowledge, the wisdom that I've been able to gain each and every single day. I'm grateful for adventures. I see my sis Holly out in Dubai making it happen. Proud of you, sis. I'm grateful for just life in general, guys. I'm just extremely grateful for this present moment right here. Right now I'm just filled with so much gratitude, and it's just amazing, all the amazing things that are happening in our life. 2023 has started off with just so much breakthroughs for me in general. I've been very quiet about certain things that I've been doing in the background, and I know that eventually I'm going to have the chance to share it with you guys. I'm just not yet done with a lot of the things that I've been doing. But when I am done, I'm going to share with you guys some valuable things that I've learned about myself, that I've learned about life. And I've been very quiet about it. I haven't really talked about it much, but I just want you guys to know that, I've been doing a lot of work in the background, a lot of deep work, a lot of, self-realizations that for me, myself, I needed. And, when they say that, the higher you get, the bigger the challenges, the bigger the experiences you're going to have, guys, trust me and believe me that is very, very true, guys. As I've grown and as I've elevated in this journey, I've realized that, the challenges that come are a lot bigger than they were when I started. And some of you guys may think that some of the challenges that you're dealing with right now are big, but I can tell you guys right now, they are minuscule compared to the challenges that you're going to face a year from now, 2 years from now, 4 years from now. But if it wasn't for the development, the books that I've read, the audios I've listened to, the events that I've went to, if it wasn't for all of the preparation that I've done over the years, I wouldn't have had the mindset to accept the challenges that have been put in my path. And I wouldn't have the mindset to see the realizations that each and every single challenge has brought me as well. So I'm finishing up a lot of the things that I've been doing, but I just want you guys to know that when I do and I come back, I have so much to share with you guys that it's going to absolutely change all of our lives. And the reason why I stay quiet about it is because, remember, I'm always the type of person that I apply LART into my life. I first learn things, then I do the A, which is apply it. Then I apply it enough in order for me to get the results. And then after I get the results, then I teach. So right now I'm in the applying and getting the results part of my life. Okay, that's where I'm at. I'm learning. I've applied. I'm getting the results as I'm talking to you guys right now. And then eventually I'm going to end up teaching it. So I'm very, very excited to teach you guys about, the deep work that I've done to start the year, to prepare myself, okay, for the biggest year of my life, which is 2023, where I'm going to be, working on every single area of my life. Like, this year is all areas 2023. So I want us to real quick in the chat box, can we all put hashtag all areas 2023? Okay, all areas 2023 hashtag. Okay, hashtag all areas 2023, because that's what this year is all about. This year is all about, working on all areas. All right. If you're going to be great in your business, you're going to be great with God. You're going to be great with your physical life. You're going to be great in your relationships. You're going to be great in all areas of 2023. Okay. So that's what I'm looking forward to. This is going to be amazing. And I'm really, really excited for it. All right. But let's get into today's lesson. That was just a little catch up of what happened for me over the weekend and everything. Let's get into today's topic. Okay. So today I wanted to talk about the 4 dysfunctions of an individual. Okay. And I wanted to talk about this because a lot of us, we have major dysfunctions in our life. Okay. We have major dysfunctions, things that hold us back, things that don't allow us to take ourselves to next levels. And it's important that we realize which ones they are, because unless we realize and, pinpoint them, then they will always be dysfunctions in our lives. And we want to be able to, develop them and get rid of them, because what happens is whatever we are, we're going to duplicate. So if you lack this, if you have these dysfunctions, then people that you attract into your business, people that you attract into your life will also have these dysfunctions. And you don't want to have that, guys. This is something that, you really want to make sure that each and every single one of you guys take notes on. So today's topic, put it at the top of your paper, is called the 4 major dysfunctions of an individual. Okay, the 4 major dysfunctions of an individual. If you want to send out one last text and let everybody know that we are live now, okay, so that nobody misses this call, please do. Do not, I wouldn't allow anyone to miss this call. Truthfully honest, guys, like, don't let anybody miss this call, because this call is going to be amazing. Okay, so spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. And let's get this call started. All right. So the 4 major dysfunctions of a person. Okay, what are some of the dysfunctions that we have? Number one is we have an absence of trust. Okay, number one is the absence of trust. All right, this is so important right here. We're going to talk about this. Absence of trust is a major dysfunction that we all have within ourselves, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, we lack trust in ourselves. We lack trust in our abilities. We lack trust in where we're going, okay? And what tends to happen is that if we don't trust ourselves, guess what? We're not going to be able to take the necessary actions that are necessary in order for us to become successful. Okay, some of us haven't developed a trust in ourselves. You know, it's one thing to trust your parents, it's another thing to trust your significant other, it's another thing to trust your mentor. But do you trust yourself? Do you have trust in yourself to make sure that every single day you're going to do what you say you're going to do? Are you going to stay true to the words that you say you're going to do and follow through on each and every single thing? Because that builds trust. You got to think about it. What builds trust in a relationship, right? What builds trust in a relationship is clear communication, one of the things for sure, right? Are you clearly communicating the message that you want to communicate with yourself and to the world? Right? And what could that message be? That message could be the story of 2023. Are you clearly communicating your story for 2023 to yourself? Because that's going to build trust, right? Because if you're consistently communicating that message, if you're consistently writing down that story, every single chance that you get of what your life is going to be in 2023, then you're going to start to build trust in those things, because not only will you continue to speak it and believe it, but then you're going to start to live it because of the fact that you did what you said you were going to do. You see, this is very, very, very important. We have to trust in our ability of what we're going to do this year. Are you trusting your word? Are you clearly communicating that message? Or are you still doubting yourself? Or are you still speaking negatively? Or are you still doing things that are holding you back? This is why I tell you guys, yo, even if speaking one word of negativity, that holds you back more than you know. Even if you're just spreading one message of negativity, guys, that stuff holds you back more than you guys would ever know. You have to trust yourself. If you wrote down in your story for 2023 that this is going to be the biggest year of your life, this is going to be the year that you step out of your comfort zone, this is going to be the year that you go out there and make big business deals and you build great relationships with God, and you do this and you do that and you do this and you do that, and you haven't been doing that, guess what? You've already started to lose trust in yourself. Because you got to think about it like this. It goes vice versa. If it was a relationship, think about a relationship with someone else. If someone told you over and over and over again, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be like this, I want to be this for you, and they never keep their word on what they say they're going to do, then what you start to do, you start to lose trust in that person, because everything that they tell you they're going to do, they never do it. You see that? You see how that works? They told you they were going to be a certain way, and they haven't been that certain way. So guess what? You lose trust in that person. They said they were going to do this, and they didn't do that. You lose trust in that person. Eventually, they do that enough, and now there's zero trust. So if you're the one that's telling yourself, oh, I'm going to wake up early, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm gonna start reading more, I'm gonna start meditating more, I'm gonna prospect more, I'm gonna post more on social media, I'm gonna study this, I'm gonna study that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you're not doing it, then not only are you losing trust from other people, but most importantly, you're losing trust in yourself. So one of the major dysfunctions that we have is that we start to lose trust in ourselves because we are not keeping our word on the things that we said we were going to do. Guys, we're 17 days into the new year. Have you kept your word on the things that you said you were going to change this year? Are you really doing the things that you said you were going to do this year? Are you really, really doing it? This is the game. Because understand this, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be real. Okay, you have to be real. You have to build that trust in yourself. Okay, You see, for me, this season has been a season of massive changes. It has been a season of realization, a season of a lot of deep work for me. And I've kept my word on everything I said I was going to do. I actually started doing all of the deep work about a month ago today. Okay. I would say it started for me towards the end of 2022. All right. It was like 2017. 2017. It was like December 17 or December 18 when it actually started. And I said, you know what? If I really, really want to have the best year in 2023, there's a lot of work that I got to do internally. There was a lot of work I had to do internally. And I started about 30 days ago, and I have been so in love with all the deep work that I've been doing. That's what I dedicated the last 30 days to, was to a lot of heavy, deep work into myself. Okay. Now, and it's not that I'm not focused on the business. It's not that I'm not focused on my physical health. It's not that I'm focused on this and on that. No, it's just there were certain things that I needed to face in the mirror. This was a phase in my life that I had to go through before I can start diving deeper into the other areas. Because what I didn't want to do was I didn't want to start doing those things with the same mindset that I had. I wanted to change my mindset. I wanted to change my paradigm. I wanted to do those things. And what people don't know is that I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours every single day of deep work. As a matter of fact, I can tell you guys what my schedule would look like, okay? After Mornings with Nano, right? Obviously, Mornings with Nano finish at about 11. I would go get lunch. I would get myself ready. I would prepare myself mentally. And from 1 p.m. till 6 p.m. every single day, I did a lot of deep work. And then from 6 p.m. till 11 p.m., I built my business. But in the middle of the day, while everyone was at work, that was my time for me to work on myself. I did a lot of work the last month into me. Okay, I had to do a lot of work, a lot of realizations, a lot of, digging deep and figuring out why I was the way that I was. Was I really, was I really fulfilling my purpose? Was I really filling up my cup? What were the lies that I was telling myself that were holding me back? What was everything like deep down? I had to look back the last 4 years and look at my journey from the beginning, okay, and look at everything that I did and how I did it and why I did it and what things could I have done better and what I learned from each situation. And it was just so much that I had to do for me, though. It was for me. Because for years, I had focused on everybody else. For years, I had focused on so many other things. And, even though I did a lot of amazing things, there were also a lot of things I needed to change. There was also a lot of things I needed to realize. And I needed that time for me. Okay. But how I feel right now, like I feel on top of the world. I feel free. Like, I don't think you guys even understand. But just so you guys know how real it is, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm going to leave that conversation maybe for February, most likely, which is when I'll probably dive deeper into this stuff. But yesterday, I got off of a 13-hour flight. All right. I got off of a 13-hour flight of traveling. Okay. And you know what I had to go do? This was one of the exercise that a program that I'm doing told me to do. I had to go to the park. Listen to this, just so you guys have an idea of some of the work that I've been doing. Okay. I had to go to the park. Had to take a book bag with me. Okay. And in the park, I had to find 7 big rocks. Big rocks. All right. I had to find 7 rocks. All right. And in those 7 rocks, each of those rocks represented a lie I had been telling myself. All right. And it was representing a lie I was telling myself. Right. Look at how real this is. Let me actually show you guys this really quick. Lies I've been telling myself. This is how deep I was going into my deep work. Like, this is real deep work that I'm talking to you guys about right now. Like, it wasn't no BS deep work. It was like, I've been doing very intentional deep work to like really, really like change my life and change my paradigm and change, the way that I've been thinking. And it has changed everything for me, truthfully, right? And what I had to do was listen to this. And I'm not going to dive deep into it because that's a conversation for a whole nother day. But I just want you guys to kind of have an idea of what were some of the things that, I had to do, right? So look at this. All right. So look, I'm gonna share my screen right here. So yesterday, I went to the park and I didn't even have a book bag because the only book bag I have is the one I travel with. And I didn't want to use that one because I didn't want to mess it up. So I used my old baseball bag, right? And I put 7 rocks in there. Look at how big those rocks are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each rock represented the lies that I had been telling myself. And I'm not going to dive deep into what the lies were because, like I said, that's a conversation for another day. And then what I had to do is I had to carry those bags for 7. I had to put all 7 of those rocks in there and then carry the bag and walk for 20 minutes with all of those lies to represent all the weight that I had been holding on myself while telling myself lies the last few years of my life. Okay, all these lies that I told myself, this, that, like really facing lies, like real lies that we told ourselves that we don't realize that we're telling ourselves. Okay. And then when I was done with the 20 minutes, what I had to do was, after 20 minutes of walking with this heavy ass bag that still right now hurts my shoulders because it was so heavy. I think I picked too big of rocks. Like the rocks were way too big, honestly, in my opinion. Okay. Then I had to stop, take out the bag, right? Then I had to stop, take out the rocks, put them on the floor, right? Build like almost like a tower of rocks, like one on top of each other, kind of like this type stuff, you know, like boom. And then, I had to kind of build this like that. And then I had to journal what every single lie was and what it cost me in my life. Yo, guys, listen to me. I had to sit down and every lie from the beginning, what each lie has cost me in my life in every area. What did it cost me in my business? What did it cost me in my personal life? What did it cost me in my relationship? What did it cost me in my relationship with God? Like, sit there for every single lie. And then once I was done journaling, I had to put the backpack back on and then walk for another 20 minutes with it. Yo, guys, that was incredible. It was an unbelievable experience for me. But like I said, that's something we're going to jump into another day. But just so you guys can kind of have an idea of the kind of work I've been doing behind the scenes that you guys don't even know about, right? That you guys don't even know about, like real, like intense, deep work, like breaking paradigms from years and years of bad programming, like literally years and years. Like, I don't think you guys will understand. And like I said, it was things that I had to do because it's curses that we're breaking. Remember, it's generational curses that need to be broken. So there has to be intentional deep work being done, guys. And yo, let me tell you guys, it was hard. Look, I got videos walking. Look at this. I got videos doing this stuff.
As you can see, this bag is so heavy on my back. There's 7 big rocks in there. This is easily 70, 80 pounds of weight. So just wanted to show you. I'm about to walk across that bridge.
Walking and just feeling it. And I was like, and talking to yourself, because that's part of it. That's part of it. So while you're walking for 20 minutes, so once I did that, I just did the video for that. For 20 minutes, you have to do something called walk and talk, where you have to walk and talk to yourself and talk about the lies and the cost that these lies have had in your life and why you had those lies and where they came from, and like telling yourself like, yo, that's it, this, yo, like you guys have no idea at all, that what that has done for me as a person already. And I just did day 1. I got to go do day 2 today as well. And today is going to be even harder because today now I have to walk up either a hill, or I have to walk upstairs with it now. Okay, so today's assignment's a little bit different. Today's assignment is I got to go do it with uphill now. Yesterday was just a regular walk. Today is going uphill. So it just goes to show, guys, that there were things that I had to face myself, all right, that everybody also eventually is going to have to face. And I'm going to teach you guys to do these things. Yes, and I get to do this, okay, because, guys, this is what it's all about. right? I want you guys all to know Nano is not perfect. Like, Nano is not this, like, I know sometimes people look at me and they're like, yo, Nano got it all figured out. He's a mindset educator. He's a chairman in the company, this and this and that. Guys, I promise you guys, I am far from perfect. I am far from figuring it out. Okay. I am far, far, far from figuring it out. I'm a really, really good teacher. I have a lot of wisdom. I have a lot of things that I can share with people, and I'm really good at it. Okay. But I just want you guys to know that, you know, it's been a lot of work that I got to do so I can be a better version of myself, so that I can teach all of us how to become better versions of ourselves. Because what I don't want to do is continue to teach you guys how to be a version of me, or how to teach you guys how to be a certain version of yourself, that there's still so much more growth to that. All right. So this is real deep work, and God has chosen me to go through this so I can be vulnerable and I can teach you guys this kind of stuff. So, you know, it goes hand in hand with what we're talking about today. This deep work is helping me develop more trust in me. Okay. It's going to help me develop more trust in me, because the lies that I've been telling myself have affected me in my business, have affected me in my physical life. It has affected me in my relationship with God, with my girlfriend, with everything. It has affected me in my family. It has affected me in all areas of my life, guys. It has affected me in so many areas. So now I'm facing those things. And to think that I was able to accomplish as much as I did with that foundation, imagine now what I'm going to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? So for me, this year, like I said, is going to be, and it is the biggest year of my life. But before I attacked the year, there were things I had to face, because I couldn't go into 2023 with the same mindset, the same paradigm, and the same lies and the same thinking that I had in 2022, 2021, and 2020. Like, this is what I tell you guys. Like, I'm not just here to bluff and tell you guys that, yo, I'm doing this. Like, I'm telling you guys, I really do deep work behind the scenes that you guys have no idea about. And the first dysfunction that we all have is the lack of trust in ourselves. And I'm going to teach you guys that exercise and how to do it and why to do it and where it comes from and how it started and why. But like I said, I will never teach you guys something that I haven't gotten results from. So like I said, I learn, I apply, I get the results, and then I teach. Right now, I'm in the application and the results part. I won't teach it to you guys until I fully finished it, until I fully have every realization, until I got it down to the T, and then I'm going to teach it to you guys. So that's probably something that we're going to dive deep into, probably starting in February. Very, very excited about that. Okay, so going back into our training that has to do with the absence of trust, this is what it's all about, okay? It's about keeping your word on the things that you said you were going to do. I said I was going to do 30 days of deep work starting 30 days ago, and I have kept my word that I was going to do 30 days of deep work. People don't know I was working on Christmas. I was working on New Year's Day. I did deep work on those days. I didn't take any days off, right? Christmas Eve, I was working. Christmas Day, I was working. New Year's Day, I was working. Even though we went out and we had fun, next morning I woke up and did my deep work. I did deep work every single day for the last 30 days. Every flight I was on, I did deep work. I wouldn't even sleep on plane rides. I would just do deep work the whole plane ride. It's been a lot of work. You know why? Because like I tell you guys, you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. And I don't think you guys are allowing that message to go in your head and actually accept it. Think about it again. You cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. Some of you guys are going into 2023 with a lot of problems, and you're trying to solve those problems with the same level of thinking that created it. And the problems that I had were so big that I couldn't solve them with the same level of thinking of 2022. That's why I took 30 days to really, really go in on myself. Really, really, really go hard and like deep work. Examples of deep work: reading books, intentional books, audios, meditation, there's just so much. For everybody is different. Everybody's facing different things. One of the things that I gotta work on this year is, money management. Look, what did I do? Right away, I went and bought a book, one of the top books when it comes for money management. I just got it yesterday, The Total Money Makeover. I'm gonna start. Like, I'm here to really change the way that I think, the way that the money, everything. Like, this year is that year for me. Like, I'm so serious. And I don't know if you guys can hear it in my passion. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the way that I'm communicating this message for you, but I am here to change my life forever. Like, this year is that year. Okay? Building that relationship with God, prayer, physical work, my body, my fuel, like the core 4 things that I'm talking to you guys about. This is what it's all about right here. And sometimes, you know what it is? People are not committed. Like, what I've done the last 30 days, a lot of people will not commit to that kind of work. A lot of people are not ready to face the traumas and the experiences and the lies and all of that stuff. I was ready to face that. And what you guys didn't know, for the last 30 days, I showed up on Mornings with Nano every day. I showed up to every training, every leadership call, everything, while everybody had no idea that I was doing all this work. Maybe Jasmine knew. Probably Jasmine. I think Jasmine was the only one that knew from my team of all the work I was doing. And she can tell you guys how hard it was for me to jump on call certain days. And she was like, bro, I don't even know how you do it. She wouldn't even know how I was doing it. But guess what? I did it every day. Because there were things that Nano had to face. Right? There were things that I had to face, real work that I know every single person on this call has to do as well. I know every person here has some kind of deep work to do, something very similar. Hold up, give me 1 sec. I think they're calling me for Hazel. Hello? Yep. 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 No, it's no haircut. It's just a bath. If you need a groom it, then groom it. But I'm actually on a call, so I can't talk so much. But if you need a groom it, and we'll pay for whatever it is, okay? Yeah, that's fine. All right, thank you so much. Sorry, I'm getting my dog a bath and a groom and everything, and I had to make sure she was good because they kept calling me, and I knew that was them. But like I said, we got to make sure that we get this dysfunction out of us, and we focus on the key of making sure that we start to trust ourselves more. I needed to have more trust in my words, and it's not that I didn't trust myself. It's not that things are bad. It's just that in order for me to receive what God wants me to receive, I need to be a new person. Because I've been wondering, well, God, why haven't I received everything I've been asking for? Why haven't I received it yet? It's because there's certain things that I needed to face in the mirror, and there was a certain person I had to become in order for me to be that, in order for me to receive what I was asking for. So super, super important. Okay, so that's number 1. It's absence of trust. I went way too long on that one, okay? Number 2, okay, listen to this. Number 2, another dysfunction that we all have is that we avoid accountability and we lack attention of our results. That's my baby right there. Hazel. I don't have kids, but Hazel's my baby. I have someone taking care of her until I move back to Miami now in February. Yes, I kept the dog. So dysfunction number 2 that we have, we lack accountability. Avoid accountability, and we lack attention to the results. Guys, this is so important right here. You got to be able to stop avoiding accountability. Too many of us avoid accountability and we lack attention to our results. All right. That is something that is a massive, and a major dysfunction in ourselves. It's a major dysfunction. We don't like to be held accountable. And we don't like holding ourselves accountable because we don't like the feeling of somebody telling us like, yo, you're not doing your work. You're not doing what's required. This, that. And then what we also do is we're lacking attention to the results. Like, pay attention. Where are you in your life right now? Are you happy with your results? Are you happy with the money in your bank account? Are you happy with your business? Are you happy with where you are right now? Stop lacking and stop like putting to the side the results, because remember, guys, at the end of the day, the results is what tells the final story. At the end of the day, the results tell the final story. So why are you running away from it? Why are you trying to ignore it? There's something that is wrong with you if your results are not there. It has nothing to do with anybody else but you. If you're not happy with your results, it's because of you. And maybe there needs to be more of an accountability with you. Stop avoiding accountability and stop avoiding the attention to the results. Because understand this. This is so important. If you don't care enough about yourself, nobody will care. If you don't care to hold yourself accountable for waking up on time, for reading books, for listening to your audios, for studying, for prospecting, for building your business, for the way you've been acting with your family, with the way you've been acting with your kids, how you've been with your relationship, whether it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend. If you're not willing to face that, if you're not willing to hold yourself accountable for that, then you're not a real one. You got to hold yourself accountable. Because if not, remember, if you have dysfunctions in your life, these dysfunctions are eventually going to keep you down. They're going to hold you back. I had to hold myself accountable in all areas of my life. I had to hold myself accountable in the core four. Had to hold myself accountable, number one, in what? My body and my fuel. Had to hold myself accountable with my being, my relationship with God, with my deep work and my spirituality. Okay. I had to hold myself accountable in my business, and I had to hold myself accountable in my relationships. Okay. I had to hold myself accountable in all of these areas. In every single area of my life, I had to hold myself accountable because I understood the importance of this. I understood that I had to work on myself every single day, guys. And sometimes we tend to forget this. Sometimes we tend to just kind of look at it and be like, whatever. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. And what happens is it becomes a habit. And then accountability is something that you don't even care for. And if somebody holds you accountable, you start taking it personal. You don't know how many people I know that when I hold them accountable, they take it personal. You know why? Because they don't even hold themselves accountable. The reason why I like when people hold me accountable is because guess what? I hold myself accountable a lot. So I know what it's like to be held accountable by others. And I appreciate when people hold me accountable, but I also pay attention to the results. What are my results? Your results come from your lack of accountability. If you're not holding yourself accountable, that's the reason why you have lack of results. Be honest with yourself. It's 17 days into the new year. Have you really been doing your morning routine every day? Have you read every single day this year? Have you worked out 3 or 4 times a week this year? How's your relationship with God this year? Have you been praying every day? Have you been going to church on Sundays? Have you been tithing? Have you been speaking to him? How have you been eating this year? Have you been eating healthier this year? Did you say at the beginning of the year that this year you were going to stop drinking, stop smoking, and you're still drinking and smoking? Hold yourself accountable. That's what it takes. That's truly, truly what it takes, is that accountability. That's what it's going to take. And this is one of the major dysfunctions that we all have. I'm not pointing nobody out. Hey, Nano, you too. I have these dysfunctions. I have these dysfunctions as well. These are all things that we all must work on. We got to all work on these dysfunctions. We avoid accountability and we don't pay attention to the results. Pay attention to where you are today, because guess what? The best place for you, the only way that we're going to be able to get to where we want to go to is we need to know where we are right now. We need to know where we are right now. Where are you right now? Boom. This is where you are. Where do you want to go? In order for you to go there, you're going to have to hold yourself accountable along the way. You're going to have to hold yourself accountable, right? Nano is right here. Okay. But in order for me to get there, I have to be able to hold myself accountable and pay attention to the results on my way there. This is important. And look, like I said, everything happens level by level, right? You guys may be like, well, Nano, what do you mean in attention to results for you? You make a lot of money, you do this, you do that, but still, there's still so much I need to do. Right? Because in order for me to get to $100,000 a month, there's certain things I got to fix. There's certain things I got to hold myself accountable for. There's certain things I need to pay more attention to. There's more deep work, this, and that. I know I'm going to be a millionaire this year. I knew that the test that God was putting me through was for a greater good. Some of you guys run away from the test that God puts you in. Nah, I faced them, and I thank him every step of the way. I thank God every single day for the last 30 days for everything that he challenged me with. I thank them every day. And you know what's funny? After doing that exercise yesterday with the rocks, I realized why he did everything. I realized it. I was like, now it makes sense. Because with great power comes great responsibility. But you know what? I had to hold myself accountable, and I had to be honest and real with myself, with Nano, not with the Mornings with Nano community, not with my mentors, not with my mom and dad, not with this person, with that person. I had to be real with myself. And this is what it takes. And it's all part of the testimony. The test prepares you for the testimony. Right now, I was being tested. Guess what? The testimony that you guys are going to hear from me over the next few months, you guys are going to be like, wow, now it makes sense. But I needed it. And God chose me. Not only for that, because I realized that God chooses certain people because they got to be the ones that they got to be the examples for everybody else. He picked me and he said, you know what? Here, you're going to have to go through this because you're going to have to be the one that once you get through this, you teach it to your family, your friends, your community, so they can also do it as well. And it's hard. But guess what? I'm grateful. Don't run away from it, guys. Hold yourself accountable for the BS that you've been doing. Don't avoid accountability and stop being so inattentive to the results that you have in your life. You cannot run away from this stuff. You have to face things face to face. Don't run from it, face it. Face it face to face. Don't ever be scared of it. Too many of us are running away from our problems, running away from the things that are happening in our lives. Face those things. The most successful people that I know are going through things right now. Doesn't matter. The biggest year of our lives is here. But sometimes there's certain things you got to face in order for you to get that big year. And everything I'm doing now is for that. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, big dysfunction. We all know this, lack of commitment. Bro, this is so important right here. So important. And there's not really much to talk about on this one because it says it itself. It's a lack of commitment. Yo, are you committed to everything we said we were going to do? Are you committed to your routine in the morning or to your business? Are you committed to your team? Are you committed to God? Are you committed to your relationship? Are you committed to a healthy diet? Lack of commitment is a major, major dysfunction that we all are experiencing. Do you give the testimony right after you go through the test? I would say yeah and no, because obviously after you say it, you say it more proudly, but you also can give a testimony as you're going through the test. Like, I've been going through the test, like I'm still going through the test, but I'm giving you guys a little bit of the testimony already. All right. But what I need you guys to understand that you got to be committed. I committed to 30 days of deep work. I think tomorrow is the 30th day, if I'm not mistaken. Tomorrow will be 30 days of commitment since I did it to the deep work. And I'm not planning on stopping anyways. Just because I did for 30 days is not going to stop. There's still so much more I got to work on. Just because I did 30 days of deep work doesn't mean that it stopped. It's just the 30 days gave me the breakthroughs that I needed. And now I know how much work more I need to do now. I'll probably be doing deep work for the first 3 months of the year, to be 100% real with you guys. But I'm still working my business. I'm still jumping on calls. I'm still doing everything though. That's the thing. So it's not like I'm doing deep work and I completely forgot about my business. I completely forgot about my team. I completely forgot about things. No, like I'm still working hard on those things as well. All right. But there's just certain time. There's just a certain focus that needs to go into that. See how that works? There's a certain focus that needs to go into that area for once. And that's what it's all about. And I'm committed to it because what we do, all right, what we do in the first 90 days of the year determines a lot. And because this year is such a big year for me, for my family, and for everybody around me, that's what this is about right here. I had to build the foundation for the year now. Some of you guys, maybe this message for some of you guys maybe needed to hear the same, like, yo, maybe I need to do what Neno's doing. Yes, I'm still focused on my business. Yes, I'm still focused on leveling up and making money and all of this, but maybe I need to do what Neno's been doing. Maybe I need to sit down for the rest of this first quarter of the year and spend 2 to 3 hours a day in a lot of that deep work. There's a lot of things I gotta face. I have an absence of trust in my word. I've avoided accountability and I haven't been paying attention to the results. I have a lack of commitment. You know what? I'm going to be doing the same thing Nano's been doing. Some of you guys need to hear that for sure. And guess what? Even if everything has been going your way, we all still need deep work. Because if I would have known this 3 years ago, I would have done it 3 years ago. I would have faced all these things 3 years ago. But it took for a certain situation to happen in my life for me to realize it. You know, when they say God will put you through the same situation over and over and over and over again until you learn it, this was a perfect example of it. God had put me through this thing over and over and over again. He gave me signs. And then he gave me the one. He was like, it was like he smacked me outside my head. He was like, yo, you haven't been listening to me. Boom, listen up now. And then I listened. He gave me little signs here, little signs there, this. I didn't pay attention. And then he said, boom, now you're going to listen. And I listened. And that's why I was committed to this. This is what it's about. You got to have this kind of mindset, guys. And remember, because of the way we grew up, because of the way we've been programmed, because of the things that we've seen and the things that we experienced and the things that we've had happen in our lives, there's a lot of things that we need to face in the dark. I faced all of this by myself. All of this was me by myself. I faced this dolo solo. But I had to do it. I get to do it. Because in order for me to be able to be the best servant for God and serve my purpose here on earth for God, I needed to face those things. And that's how it works. And you can't run from it. You got to face it in the face like that, ready to go for it. I looked at that mountain and I said, all right, in order for me to, the life that I truly desire is on the other side of this mountain. I'm ready to climb it. Let's go. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how cold. I don't care if it's raining, if it's snowing. I don't care what happens. I'm climbing this mountain. I'm going to climb it. But what I want is on the other side. But I got to climb this obstacle first. And that's what happens. And this is what it's all about, guys. So that's number 3, lack of commitment. I committed to it. Commit to the deep work. All this first quarter of the year, some of us are going to need real deep work. And I'm not scared to tell you guys these things. I'm not scared to be vulnerable, because I never want to come up here and fake flex that everything is perfect for me. I never want to be the person to tell you guys that. I want to be vulnerable and tell you guys like, yo, look, Nano also goes through it as well. Nano also has things that he has to face as well. Nano also does deep work. Nano also deals with challenges in these areas and that areas. But I also have a lot of amazing things happening for me as well. Look, I was just in Sweden talking to 800 plus people. Look at how amazing, I'm making, $4,000 to $5,000 a month in my e-commerce store. I'm an educator for the company. I'm a chairman in the business. All of these things, right, are great as well. But look at, even though there's so many amazing things happening in my life, there's also a lot of things that still got to be, attended to, and certain things that I still got to face. That just goes to show you that even though you get success, the challenges don't stop. That just goes to show you, people would think that because of everything that is happening in my life, that everything would be perfect and that there's absolutely zero problems and zero issues. That's just going to show you guys from now, because a lot of us, I know everybody here is going to be extremely successful, but that just goes to show you guys that it doesn't matter at what step you are in your journey, whether you're in step 1, step 2, step 5, step 10, 20, 30, 100, there's still a lot of growth to go. A lot of growth. All right. So that was number 3. And then the last and final dysfunction. Okay. The last and final dysfunction is the fear of conflict. Fear of conflict. Fear of conflict. This is a big one. No, what do you mean by fear of conflict? Well, a lot of people, don't want to have, conflict with others. They don't want to have, they don't want to face those tough conversations. They don't want to forgive certain people in their lives. Like, during this time in deep work, I had to forgive other people. I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive a lot of things, bro. There was a lot of things people, you guys don't understand. These are things that have to happen. You gotta make sure that, there's certain people that have done you wrong in the last few years of your life. You gotta forgive those people. And sometimes you may have to even have a conversation with that person. But because you fear conflict, you just allow that to be a poisonous thought in your mind. There's certain conversations I had to have. There were certain conversations. There were certain people that I had to forgive. I had to forgive myself for allowing myself to do the things that I did to myself and the things that happened. Like, there's so much that I had to, but I can't fear the conflict though. You can't fear it. You can't run from it. You got to go into it face first. Face first. Right? Because remember, you can't heal what you hide, and you cannot fix what you fail to confront. You can't heal what you hide, and you can't fix what you fail to confront. And that's what it's all about. There was things I had to forgive myself for. There were people I had to forgive. There were people I had to have conversations with. This is what it's all about right here, guys. I promise you that. This is what it's all about right here, guys. You have to accept it. Don't fear conflict. Face it. Some of you got a lot of people you got to forgive. You got to forgive some people that done you wrong. Some of you got to forgive yourself for all the BS that you've put yourself through everything. I had to forgive myself for the 7 lies I've been telling myself. They were lies I've told myself that at the time I thought that they were the right thing and they weren't. So should you go back and confront a problem if someone did you wrong in the past? If you have to, yeah. If it's still something that you think about all the time, if it's a constant thought in your mind, you gotta forgive yourself for it. And it's not that you have to go, maybe if you don't want to talk to the person, I get it, but you have to forgive them. And you have to send them love through a journal, through a prayer. You have to completely let it go. You have to completely let it all go. Okay, you have to let it all go at once. You can't be scared of conflict. You can't be scared of facing those challenges and those problems and those issues. Can't be scared of it. Forgive. That's God's purpose. That's one of our purposes, man. God forgave, so we got to forgive. We're not better than anybody, none of that. We're not bigger than anybody. We forgive, and that's the key. Okay, so those are the 4 dysfunctions, all right? These are the 4 dysfunctions of ourselves. Number 1, absence of trust. Number 2, the avoidance of accountability and lack of attention to the results. Number 3 is a lack of commitment. And number 4 is fear of conflict. This is what it's all about. It is 11:11. That's how you know that everything that I said to you guys today is in perfect alignment. This is what it's all about. The call finished at 11:11. I finished my lesson at 11:11. It just goes to show you guys that this was the exact message that needed to be said today. A lot of people on this call needed to hear this message. As a matter of fact, type in 11:11 in the chat box if you needed to hear this message today, right? If this was something you wanted to hear for yourself, if this is something that you're excited that you learned because you needed it for somebody else or whatever it is, type in 11:11 in the chat box, guys, because trust me, we all needed it as well, because I know I needed it. All right. So with that being said, okay, let me just keep you guys updated on something here really, really fast. So we're all on the same page. All right. So tonight, guys, just so that you guys all know and everybody is aware of what's going on today. All right. Today, I'm going to be launching the MMX Inner Circle. All right. Now, for those who don't know what this is, I'm going to share this with you guys really quick, and then we're going to wrap up the call and do a quick prayer. So today I'm going to be launching the Inner Circle, the MMX Inner Circle launch. Now, what is this? Now, for the last month, we've been, we launched MMX. As you guys know, Mornings with Nano is no longer free 5 days a week. It is only free on Tuesdays and Thursdays on YouTube. But it is a paid subscription now, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now, today is the official launch of the whole MMX Inner Circle. Now, MMX is not just another Mornings with Nano call. Okay, I've been holding off on this because I wanted to make sure that we got everybody in, and we already have about 70 to 80 people, close to 100 people already in the inner circle. Okay, but now I'm going to launch it, and I'm going to give you guys what is it that comes with being a part of MMX. So being a part of MMX is not just going to be, having access to the calls and the recordings. No, it's going to be having access to our inner circle, which is going to include, retreats. It's going to include merchandise. It's going to include events. It's going to include investment opportunities. It's going to include private mentorship calls. It's going to include so many amazing other things that we have in store with the Mornings with Nano family. We have NFTs and stuff that, we're truly going to share with people, one-on-one sessions and just so many things. We have a full presentation already created and ready for it. You guys are going to get first dibs on retreats when we drop, which we already paid for, and we are actually already looking for places to do the retreat in. You guys are going to get first dibs to, purchase merchandise when they drop, the exclusive merchandise. You guys are going to get first dibs to events and ideas to places that we're going to be going to, not just Mornings with Nano events, but you guys will know about events that, I'm going to be going to like, Tony Robbins events and, Joe Dispenza's and all these networking events that I go to. You guys will get exclusive access, only things that are going to be shared with the inner circle. It won't be shared outside of that. It won't be shared in the Nanos Keys to Success Telegram group. So I'm going to be launching this tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Central, and 3 p.m. Pacific, okay? This is going to be the launch, the official launch of the Inner Circle and everything behind it. So if you've ever wanted to know more information about it, this is what it's all about. Be on the call at 6 p.m. I'll be dropping the link in my Nanos Keys to Success chat, and I'll also be putting the link at least probably 30 minutes before the call in my Telegram group and in my Instagram. I'm sure Jasmine will also do it as well on the mornings when they're on Instagram as well. If you guys want to get plugged in with that, don't miss it. And if you have people who are interested, from my people in the business already, if you have people who are interested in learning more about the mindset, you can also invite students and prospects who want to know more about this. But this is going to be massive. It's going to be huge. I have a PowerPoint presentation already created and ready for this, and it's going to be incredible. And we're going to be launching that today at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so if you're going to be on that call, type a 6 in the chat box for me if you're going to be on that call today. Okay, we do giveaways as well, and just a lot of amazing things that are going to be coming with the MMX Inner Circle family. All right, so that's super, super key. And then last thing I want to go over with you guys as well, so that everybody is aware of what we got going on. Being that we are all already committed and we're all going to, break the code, I want to let everybody know that after Break the Code, we have another great event that a lot of us are going to be, going to. And the event is actually called the Influencer Experience in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. We have a bunch of people who are already confirmed and ready to go in Atlanta, Georgia, February 3rd and February 4th. Okay, this is going to be the Influencer Experience hosted by myself and Chastity. We have a red carpet after party on February 3rd. We're going to have incredible, we have incredible prices for tickets. General admission is only $75. If you weren't able to make it to the Break the Code event and you're looking for another event to go to at the beginning of the year, this could be the event for you, right? We have general admission, $75 for that. We have VIP $125. And if you want to be a part of the meet and greet, you want to be a part of the red carpet party, you want to be a part of everything that we have going on, it's going to be $165 for that. We're still getting a lot of, confirmations ready to go. But we have some great speakers who are going to be at this event. We have TikTok influencers that are going to be going over how to build your brand on TikTok. We're going to have Daniel G, who's one of, the most one of the biggest entrepreneurs right now, world-class sales, #1 sales trainer. We're going to have Jarrell coming over, teaching us about, credit repair, finances, business funding, all of that great stuff. We're going to have my sister Brittany, who's an incredible marketing coach and brand specialist. Nainoa, another great TikTok influencer and entrepreneur. My brother C. John, who's a mentor and strategy coach and community builder, really teaching us some great things. And we also have some other great speakers who are going to come, and we are waiting to, really, release it. So if you're looking to go to this event, this is the link right here. I'm going to drop it in the chat. It's called the Influencer Experience. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be life-changing. I'm very, very excited for that one. If you are in the Atlanta, Florida area, that's an easy drive for a lot of you guys. Make it out. If you got to fly out, make it happen. The tickets are affordable. Atlanta is an international airport, so the flights are going to be easy to get. Tickets to the event are $75 minimum, and then stay will also be easy because there's so many hotels and Airbnbs that are going to be there. But we're going to spend an incredible weekend in Atlanta that week. If you guys want to come to that event, I highly recommend it. It is going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing event, and I cannot wait for it. All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys so much for hopping on today's call. I hope you guys got a lot of value from what it was that I covered today. I'm going to wrap up this call. I'm going to do a quick prayer for us, and we're going to wrap it up. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, I want to thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Tuesday morning where we get a chance to grow, we get a chance to elevate, and we get a chance to face the challenges that we have in our lives. Some of us are on this call, and some people on this call, Father, are facing an incredible amount of challenges. But after this call, they're ready to face those challenges, and they're ready to confront them face to face. We no longer fear conflict because we understand that anything that has to do with fear, it doesn't align with you. We got to have faith. We have to have faith that everything is going to work in our favor. And for everyone who has been going through amazing times and everything is working in their favor, Father, I pray that you continue to push them. I pray that you continue to clear the path for them. I pray that you continue to put the people, the situations, and the circumstances that they need in their lives to continue to grow, but also give them the humbleness that they need in order for them to see that even though they're at highs, they can also learn from the people that are going through lows, Father. So we appreciate you so much for all that you continue to do for us. Continue to guide us, continue to protect us, continue to keep us close to you. You're leading the way. Keep holding our hand, guide us every single day. Put your healing hand over us each and every single day. And let's continue to make this the best year of our lives. But before we do so, we got to build this solid foundation this first quarter of the year, Father. So we love you. We appreciate you. We are extremely grateful for you. In God's name we pray. Amen. 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 All right, guys. With that being said, that wraps up today's call. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I hope all of you guys have a phenomenal, phenomenal day. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to elevate. I will see you guys tomorrow on MMX for another episode of